Welcome to Starseed Transmissions Series with myself, Jennifer Taylor from 108 Healing Centers, and my very special co-pilot, Laura Ferguson, aka Starseed Lolo Music. You can get her on that tag. And thank you for joining us, whether you're live or on the replay. It is lovely to have you here, as always. And this platform is all about bringing more solutions than problems to the world, particularly how we can help ourselves from the inside out. And that's how we create a better world. Laura, would you like to explain, for anyone that may be watching this video for the first time, your process, and also if you felt any particular direction that you'd like to take this conversation?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Starseed Lolo, and I also go by my actual name, Laura Ferguson, as an author. What normally happens is whomever, collective, or however the higher self wants to come through, it comes through. 99% of the time, it's what we would call extraterrestrial, which is another reflection of us. And that being said, if there's something that you don't agree with per se, that's okay. We don't have to agree or disagree. That's a lot of times our human needs, we want to do that. It's like, I don't agree with that, and I have to make a comment. Like I saw a comment on one of my other podcasts. The mothers wouldn't agree with that, and it didn't make sense because I'm a mother as well. So I don't think the lady knew that, but I didn't respond because we were channeling. But we don't have to agree on everything, because all perspectives are valid, and we're a reflection of each other, meaning that it's all coming from the higher self, well, basically filtered through, our higher selves, oversouls from source. And so we're all a part of source. All of it is valid. We don't have to agree. So that's just something that I'm just throwing in there. And, they're all counterparts of me, but this version that you are experiencing is your version from your higher self as well. And that is where the reflection comes in. If that makes sense.
Yeah, love that. This is a platform for reflection, I suppose. That is the best description, or one descriptive word that would best suit this platform.
Yep.
So thank you for that.
You're welcome. I'm ready whenever you are.
Lovely. So am I.
Okay. So, let's see if the jovial mantis is going to come through. They told me they do. So I'm going to make it a little bit darker. You're not going to be able to see me as much. That keeps me in with less brighter surroundings. It's easier for me. All right. Purple Jovial Mantis Collective is with us.
Thank you very much for joining us today.
We are happy to be here in the here and now. How can we help?
So thank you for joining us on our 10th episode. As you know what this platform is about, and we want to bring more solutions than problems to the world. Are there any particular topics or messages that you would like to bring to the collective today?
Yes, we will theme this. It's all good. Meaning, it's all good because it is. And this experience, which you call a human experience, and which we call being a jovial mantis, purple mantis experience, is just an experience. The physicality of it is not real. However, the experience is, which means you can and you do real-time manifest. you are manifesting the experience real time. Therefore, you can shift to the reality in which you can manifest real time, can you not?
Absolutely.
And we would like to focus a little bit more on this manifesting, because it is not the law of attraction how people think it is, that you are pulling from the universe. You are the universe. You are shifting merely either way based on your frequency. It does not matter what happens. It does not matter what happens. It does not matter what happens. What matters is your frequency. And if you keep the highest frequency possible, no matter what happens in this now everlasting moment, you will choose your most preferential reality, moment to moment to moment to moment. And it's very important to keep it as jovial as possible.
Thank you for reminding everyone, because it is easy to allow, if you're not conscious and aware of it, to allow negative stories or things or people to pull you in and drag you into the drama and the darkness when it's unnecessary.
This is true. Everything is a conscious choice. You are a free will, sourced energy being. No fractal is higher, no fractal is lower. We just are. We are like a infinite fishbowl. How we see it and experience it is more like a fishbowl. In actuality, it is like an everlasting infinite Big Bang, all happening at once, and each fractal is its own perspective, including what you call your past and your future, although there is no past and future, including other versions, counterparts of yourself, which comes through via your higher self as a what appears to be another entity, which is just another version of you, and so on.
It's interesting, like that butterfly effect, how everything's connected. Is that what unity consciousness is, playing out in real time?
Yes, it is the ether, it is the all, it is the source playing out frame by frame by frame, by infinite numbers of perspectives. And this spark of a perspective is just one of infinite versions of yourself.
And so is this what multiple timelines also pulls up? It's the dialing into certain intentions that leads you to manifest and live a life that you're dialing into.
Yes, and it is, as humans say, a timeline. The timeline is the experience itself, because there is no time, however you experience it. Therefore, it's the experience. You anchor yourself in this experience with your ego. A lot of times in the community and so on, the ego is said to be a bad thing. It is not a bad thing. It is anchoring you into what you call the physical experience. That is the job of the ego, is to anchor you in the physical experience, while the job of the higher self is to give you those impulses, to lead you to follow your highest passion. The job of the physical mind is to keep you anchored.
Do all beings have ego, or is it just humans on Earth?
It's a different version for other parts of reality, such as animals, and in inanimate objects such as a wall or a rock. Everything is consciousness. However, all have different frequencies, even identical twins with quote unquote 100% the same DNA.
Fascinating. Is there anything else you'd like to add to what you've shared so far?
Yes, we've actually discussed before about doing jumping jacks to raise your frequency, doing physical activity, taking walks, going in nature. Bottom line is, do what it takes in a healthy way to keep your frequency high, to make it high, to keep it that way. if you have something called intrusive thoughts, which we have all experienced, there is one thing you can do. Focus on what you love, your passion, your loved ones. Do not focus on what you do not prefer. That will immediately stop intrusive thoughts. And if an intrusive thought sneaks in, that is just something that just came into your awareness, popped right in there. It does not have to linger. You don't have to ruminate on it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you. And you're so right. They call it heart-mind coherence here as well, where that intrusive thought may come in and then you start to be grateful for all of the things that you are grateful for. And that also realigns the body, it realigns the mind back into harmony stasis.
This is true. Your homeostasis or harmony stasis, your universe, is your balance. We are not saying to be jumping around and laughing maniacally to the point where you can't stop. We are saying to be balanced and somewhat neutral to neutral upper frequencies.
Yeah, agreed. Because it's too exhausting going from manically high to depressedly low and then back up again. It's too much of a ride. It will burn anyone out.
That's right.
Yeah.
The level of adrenaline is meant to pulsate in emergency situations, or if you're extremely happy or something like that, which is meant to only be like a 10-second experience, not to be longer than that.
Yeah. I was just thinking back to today. I was doing gardening and I was having to use a fork to dig out some self-seeded trees that weren't where they were meant to be. They were little, but their root system was so strong and also long in length, maybe about a meter or so. And I had to really put some effort in. But I felt like I had this, it was a good level of adrenaline or energy that surged into me to get to uproot and yank these self-seeded trees out. So I was just thinking that would be a positive use of that kind of energy.
It's true. You need to, quote unquote, move 2 or 3 trees and replant and do some physical activity for work or hobby or enjoyment. It's you know, they have a saying about getting up and going, or another one, if I want something done, I just do it myself. Well, sometimes you get an inkling via your higher self to get up and go. And as Nike says, just do it.
Think less, do more. Sometimes that's valid. Sometimes think a bit more, reflect, then stop thinking and then just do it.
Yes. Normally on a daily, this one, she likes to make a list and text it to herself. And she will literally make a daily list and just go down the checklist as she feels necessary in the moment, or if there's a time to arrange, such as this podcast was a certain time, and she does that. And she loves that saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. That's exactly how you do it. And even if something seems mundane, such as paying bills or you know, going grocery shopping, you can make it fun and jovial, as we say.
Yeah, it's a good way of performing mundane tasks, but making it a joyful experience, or at least making it a successfully effective experience. So you're being your own best PA, which Laura has mastered, and I'm still practicing. and I'm compassionate with myself, because sometimes I can't fit as many things into a short space of time as what I would like to do. So we can all have compassion for ourselves and also be more realistic. Give ourselves buffer time. That's my own takeaways.
That's true. That's true. And redefine your definitions of what is quote unquote supposed to be done by the end of the day. Because remember, the synchronicity principle shows and does everything in orders and perfect synchronicity. As long as your frequency is to the neutral high state, everything that you quote unquote have to be done with that day will get done because of the synchronicity principle. When you are living in your highest passion moment to moment to moment, even in a quote unquote mundane task, then the synchronicity principle puts it in exact order as it's supposed to be quote unquote done.
Yeah.
And it's a whole kit when you follow your passion moment to moment and even make something fun, singing in the car, listening to your favorite song, listening to YouTube, having a discussion with a family member, if you have a family member in the car, going in the store, saying hi to people that maybe have not heard hi from any strangers all day, smiling, keeping your frequency high radiates and helps others and reflects back that jovial energy to you. 99.9% of the time, if you say hi and smile to someone, they will do the same in return. Will you get this grumpy, scroogey person every once in a while? Of course you will. However, that is also a self-reflection and maybe asking yourself, why is this reflecting to me? Did my frequency dip a little low? Maybe I was thinking about the past or something that does not exist. And normally you can catch yourself in that moment and say, yes, I thought of something that I should not have been focusing on. And that happened. And so that's just a kind of like a test. And so we get these signs and make these tests when our frequencies go down, and then things quote unquote get bad because of that. You change your inside, the outside reflection changes. Very simple. Easier said than done, though. You understand?
Absolutely. Something I've been practicing and being more aware of recently is if someone's having a bad day or a bad moment and they're not being their best self, or they're like utterly grumpy or even plain up ignoring you, is not to take, or angry at you. I've had a few of those. Mostly other people in cars, I can see their nervous systems are totally dysregulated, but I make a point of, I suppose it's like holding my ground, mate. Just holding my energy so it's not absorbing other people's emotions, because it's the negative ones at least. And just knowing nothing has changed with me, therefore I don't need to act any differently than what I would be acting in the first place. So even if someone's having a wobbly, that's okay, let them wobble. It's not your responsibility to take their wobble on, and then what happens? That wobble can then go and wobble onto other people and other people and other people. So I see that as like the potential for negative energy to continue. But then I love the smiling aspect, because if you share smiles, share connections, that also grows and flows. So it's both are exponential.
That's true. Don't own anybody's anger. Don't ever own anybody's anger, meaning that you are the observer. First of all, the physicality of the experience, not the experience part. The physicality is not real. And this one likes to laugh and tell herself this isn't even real when it's something that quote unquote is something which she does not prefer. Then ask herself, did my frequency dip a little bit? Was I thinking about something I shouldn't have? And most of the time the answer is yes, or she comes to another crossroads. However, you are the observer, and there you are the observer of the reflections of yourself, which quote unquote are not real, meaning physicality part of it. So might as well make the best of it. And Bashar often speaks about doing this by looking in a physical mirror. You look in a mirror, is the mirror going to change its face to a smile on its own? No. You need to change your face first to reflect back in that mirror. That's the same way that reality experience works as well. I smile first. I see the reflection in the mirror. It's a smile, not the other way around. It is not about agreeing or disagreeing with others. It's not about getting them to change. It's about, we don't want to say changing yourself, because that implies that maybe you have low frequencies, and we're not really into that because your frequencies change so quickly. However, we do love to paraphrase saying, be the change in the world you'd like to see, because it is your version of the world. The reflection is your version of me, you're my version of me, vice versa. All the versions are a reflection of the inside of me or you. Therefore, if you don't like it, change it. How do you change it? Your frequency. Your frequency, the universe gives you what you put out. What you put out are your beliefs and your thoughts, and then your actions. If you are telling the universe and focusing on, oh, gas prices are high, things suck, there's wars, everything here sucks, then that is the reflection you're going to get back. If you are focusing on, I have loved family members, I have a beautiful partner, I have a beautiful pet, or I live alone and I'm just very content with life and I'm very healthy right now. I'm thankful for whatever I have. I have a house, I have love, I have self-love. I have love reflected back from others. You focus on those things, even if it is a ruminating positive thought. This is the direction where we have gone in for millennia, and it has served us to basically eradicate any experiences which we do not prefer. We can barely remember experiences which we do not prefer because we have been doing it this way. And this is just physics. This isn't how realities work. Reality experience, taking the ride on the roller coaster, right? This is just how it works. This is not a theory. This is not just a thought. This is how it works. You want to reflect back positivity and love and light. Be it. When you are it, you are helping someone who is quote unquote having a bad day, because you are emanating that love, that self-love that they can feel even thousands of miles away, it doesn't matter. And when you play into the negativity, you're feeding the feedback loop to the universe saying, want more of that. So this is just a very delicate awareness and balance that a lot of humans aren't aware of, really.
At what point do individuals and collective start tuning into that? Is there like a certain change point that people start to have a deeper awareness and deeper reflections?
And that's what you call your intuition and your gut feeling. People are not spiritual, quote unquote, normally call it a gut feeling. So intuition and gut feeling is really your higher self, or really source, which is guiding you as your compass in life. It is not the job of the physical mind to have ideas. The physical mind has never had an idea. That comes all from the higher self. That's another thing. Humans like to force things to get done. It has to be this way. Don't limit yourself, because your higher self has an infinite amount of possibilities. Infinite, which can be 10 times more than you can dream up with your physical mind, or what you think your physical mind is doing. Physical mind never had a thought. Your higher mind is driving the bus. You follow your passions, your dreams come true. That is it.
Love that. As you were saying, I was just thinking, I wonder what could be a good mantra, a good one-liner. I mean, I used to say I align myself to my highest, greatest, and most loving timeline. I add the loving because you can have a high and great timeline, but it might be brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Always add the love. Always add love to everything I do, and it's the best compass for steering me in the right direction.
That's right. You listen to your intuition deep down, and then it comes to the surface. It's really not so deep down anymore. You know what is right for you. You know acting in love, being love, in which you want to reflect and are reflecting back from the world to you, is the experience you choose, and you can keep on choosing to have that experience or not. Some people would rather fearmonger and listen to propaganda media, which does not even exist because 99.999% in infinity is not true. And that is a waste of time when these people could be following their dreams actively. Let's say, add the word actively, just like we add the word loving experience, actively following their dreams, taking action.
As you were talking, I was just thinking about, is there going to be a moment when people start to look inwards, they start to connect to their intuition, they start finding channels like this, these kinds of podcasts where we're speaking about consciousness and purpose and living a fulfilled life, and however that looks, does it come with disclosure? Is that what gets people to like snap them out of their trance of 9 to 5 and then be like, whoa, there's more going on than what meets the eye? I mean, is that going to be, will that be a large role that plays in humanity's reflecting and going inwards?
Yes, the description you're describing, per se, is waking up, spiritually being aware and waking up. And it is one choice and one path that you and her have chosen to experience. It is one path that is an option because you have chosen and keep on choosing a path where you want to experience a version of Gaia where people are quote unquote awakening. And even in the last decade or two, since you have both grown into adults, you have noticed that there are a lot more people that are into spiritual awakenings, that are speaking about it, that are being very aware about it. A couple decades ago, it really did start with talking about mental health, and then mind-body health, mind-body-heart coherence health, and now it is open forums, too many places to count. And is that not the experience that you have had in the last couple of decades?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I do see, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to mention how also during the awakening experience, however that might come about, it might be through health or loss, grief, just activation overnight. You know, some people switch their gifts on very quickly, or others take time and their gifts will open as the deeper they heal with inwards, the more all of their gifts start to become active and online. I feel like I'm in that category myself. But I was going to mention that during the awakening process, I do feel like there's this extra trap of it is a fear trap that people start to awaken and then they get exposed to all of these, what's actually been happening, whether it's all true or not, but can be a real crash in people's consciousness that everything just goes completely upside down and inside out. And if they're not careful, they'll instead of increasingly going higher and higher, they'll actually kind of almost inverse and go deeper and deeper down rabbit holes and get lost because they forgot that actually the whole journey is about going inwards, not going outwards.
That's true. The universe in an awakening experience, if they choose to have that in this iteration of their container, which they call a body, it depends on the person. Some people might seemingly have a nervous breakdown overnight. Other people might take 20 years. Other people might quote unquote, never do that. However, we'd like to add splitting timelines. The more you choose a direction in every plank second, nanosecond, to go, to be the experience, because you are the experience, you and you and you and you, to be the dimensional version of Gaia, which there is love and light, there is no war, there is no famine, there is free energy, etc., etc., etc. The more you will experience and be in the collective with those who have also chosen the same. Therefore, the other ones who have not chosen that experience, such as physical disclosure of other beings, even different parallel humans and whatnot, are going to be falling away, if that makes sense. And that's why there seems like there's more star seeds and more people who are into spiritual awareness. It doesn't matter if they're religious or not, just into spiritual awareness and awakenings, because you are also using the timeline, as you say, splitting off into the version that you prefer. And so you're going to be experiencing much more and many more versions of yourself, or reflections, or other people or other beings, which are somewhat like-minded, because we are not a carbon copy of each other, so somewhat like-minded. So that is another reason you're going with a collective that is on the same track, so to speak, which is to raise the frequency and raising the frequency and raising the universe and having the best possible reality experience we can all have.
Yeah. I love that. And if everyone were to keep aligning themselves to whatever they deem to be their best timeline, it will undoubtedly shift the entire planet and cosmos and beyond.
This is true. And this is also true that you can and will and are shifting to that version of Gaia 2.0. As many have said, how come it's not instant? It is instant. It is just a frame by frame experience that you're having depending on your frequency state and choices to get to that quote unquote point. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. It does, and thank you. And I'm sorry about earlier. I dropped my selenite crystal wand while you were speaking, and my apologies for that.
We didn't notice. However, thank you.
Beautiful. We are about 10 to the hour, so I don't know if we want to have like another 5-10 minutes left, if that's okay with Laura and her timings.
Yes.
Wonderful. Are there any last points that you would like to speak about?
Just that every soul fractal is on a different journey, meaning that your partner or your child, stepchild, or parent, or close friend, coworker are all on different journeys, different perspectives, and different timelines. Each of you are having your own timeline because you are literally a walking portal. You are projecting your version of me. I'm projecting my version of you. Therefore, we do also have a collective experience with that. First and foremost, we have an individual perspective experience. And that can flow however we would want to. However, because we all have free will.
Yeah, thank you. And it is free will. That's been 2 words that have been coming to me quite often the last week or so, more so than normal. Whether it's my own and also for others, and knowing where you stop and where others begin.
That's right. We all have free will. It is 2 words. It is a verb, an action word, moment to moment to moment. Also, saying no is a complete sentence. No. If something does not sit right with you, no, or no, thank you.
I love it. Yeah. Also been that's been something on my journey recently as well. It's okay to say no. It's okay to change your mind, and it's okay to disappoint others.
Yes, yes, because you doing the best for you is also doing the best for them, even if they don't realize it.
Yeah.
You reflecting back to them your passion in every moment to moment to moment, however that looks, based on your decision and choices, is giving them the same reflection for themselves.
Mm.
And it's their opportunity to do the same.
Mm. It's a beautiful potential gift. And if you have a soft heart and a listening ear, we can all identify moments where instead of going forward like a bull in a china shop, we're going to just pause and reflect before acting.
Yes, it is okay to pause. It's also okay to tell others if you need more time for a decision.
Yeah.
And to give them a reasonable timeline if it's something that has that option. So it's you can tell somebody maybe as well, just give me some time until a week or whenever, and I'll get back to you. It's not a hard no, but it's a maybe. And then if you would like to go soul searching from your higher self for a sign, quote unquote, you get that sign and then you can let this person know. That's also okay as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really, it's interesting actually. I've been thinking about how effective communication in the business world or in a physical construction or gardening manner where it's you're using your physical body, you learn a lot of these healthy boundaries because it is required in order to keep the body safe and to perform certain actions. And it's a real beautiful parallel between the two of if you can use those strength characteristics and bring it into your personal emotional connectivity relationships, you'll have that same level of strength and you won't feel drained in the process.
That's true. Physical analogy is also a reflection of energetic and how the energetics work in physics and in general, because it's all connected. And that's right. If you have a certain boundary or a certain process that you do in physical labor or work, that can also be applied to everything else. Discipline in your life, boundaries in your life, and a coherence and a balance per se.
Yeah, it's exciting once for me that felt like a bit of a turning of a key, starting the gardening job, because I was able to very much ground myself whilst simultaneously being able to go higher to retrieve more information that will be useful to move through life as gracefully as possible. So those kinds of things are important when you are waking up. Like, continue doing earthly things because that's the bit that helps you have a fully integrated experience.
That's true. Staying grounded simply means living in the moment. Why live in the moment? Because it's the best choice and really the only choice. If you're ruminating on the past and future, which does not exist, well, that is a true prison mentality in one's mind. There is a paraphrase of something of Abraham Lincoln, the president, saying something to the effect of, you know your future because you make it in the present moment.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that recently as well. Absolutely. The work you do today helps you tomorrow and in the future.
Correct. In the perceived future, it is actually the present moment, which is being made right now.
Love that. So take opportunities if you're hearing this message. If your heart gets whispers, if you have synchronicities and opportunities arise, and if you go inwards and be like, would this benefit me now and in the future? And you get a yes, great.
Yes. If your higher self says yes, follow your passion moment to moment. We keep repeating ourselves. However, this is how physics works. This is not just a conjecture or an idea of a professor up in the clouds. This is reality. Follow your passion. It doesn't matter what happens. Follow your passion time and time and time again.
Yeah. Thank you very, very, very much for joining us today. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, the community, and those that have tuned in. It has been a real pleasure, this session. Do you have any final words before we bring Laura back?
We love you all very much, as you are reflections of us, we are reflections of you. Goodbye for now.
Thank you. So, Laura, when you're ready, 5 and 4, returning into your body. 3 and 2, you're tapping your body, bringing yourself back in nicely. And number 1, you're opening your eyes, feeling fully refreshed and energized. And drink some water if you want to. Do some grounding.
That's funny. Someone asked if I was asleep. Not exactly, but I was in theta state, which is like a hypnotic state before sleep.
Yeah. It was Edgar Casey who used to be called the sleeping prophet, but he were going to channeled kind of more sleeping states. I think he was more horizontal than you. That's an interesting soul to look at the writings. Actually, maybe that will be another topic for another time, because I have heard those kinds of prophetic writings will begin to reveal themselves and become, people. It will become more seen to many, like, wow, this was 100 years ago, and things are starting to really come more to fruition. So maybe we'll save that for another time to speak together.
Yeah, they're these jovial purple mantis are a little more, I guess, grounded with me this time, because before their jovialness was very strong for me, almost like they're like bouncing around and dancing. And this time I was able to stabilize it a little more. So I hope that helped.
Nice. Yeah, it felt more grounded, felt more inward energizing. Yeah, it's good.
Great.
Lovely. So before we complete for the day, or complete for the session, how can people find you, and do you have any offers or any exciting things that you'd like to share?
New music coming out, 1 single, maybe 2, June 15th. Starseed Lolo on all music platforms, mostly on Spotify and YouTube. That's about it.
Brilliant. That's exciting. And that's with Sony?
Yes. It was going to be a Sony EP, but for now we're working on singles, and we'll work on the EP.
Cool. Very exciting. I love it, and may this year be very musical and continue with all the creations. I bought some chimes for my birthday as a present to myself. So,
can we see them if you have them within reach?
yeah. Ooh.
Oh, I've seen one of those recently on a handpan drum podcast. I love those.
Koshi chimes.
It's beautiful.
I actually now see the beauty of having chimes in different rooms around the house. It is a wonderful way to refresh your energy. And also, if you've got your eyes closed on the bed and someone does it above you, and then you've got your very own little sound healing experience above you, it's amazing.
It is, because, with us growing up, we were always taught wind chimes go outside with the wind.
Oh,
not anymore. They could be inside.
Something special about having them inside the house as well, and very good for clearing energy. Yeah. Oh, and before we close, because I know you have other commitments, I have now released the first. So I've got a couple of memberships. We've got the Botanical Sanctuary Circle, and I've just started the Future Visions Collective, where we do group future vision sessions together and combine our intentions and journey together. So it's cool. That's like another way of getting this work to many, so you can have regular touch points to connect with yourself and your future and any energetic directions that we may take in the session. So that's the news on my side, and me and Laura will I will be sure to schedule the upcoming session, and I know our schedules are changing and getting a bit busier, so I will get that published as soon as we know between ourselves. And yeah, exciting times. Use the content that we share for, go inwards, use it to help yourself, and you'll start to see how it changes your life, and then also changes the lives of those around you. So it's a really beautiful way to use this self-reflection videos as a tool in your own self-development for free, because we love and we love seeing other people in love, and you get to love by loving yourself.
That's true. And I highly recommend Future Vision session with Jennifer here. I got one personally and got a healing that I didn't even know I needed.
Thank you. It was a pleasure working with you, as always. And it's always your creativity and expansiveness is wonderful to be a part of, as much as it is to enjoy the creations that you put out to the world. And I'm loving your new streaming music singing videos of you in your car singing to your songs. I love that. It's a beautiful way to keep that energy flowing. And also, I'm a big fan of having, if you've got one task and then you can add another task to it, and it's like supercharging of your day, which I love, and you feel more fulfilled and energized from it. So big ups to the being organized and all that great stuff with creativity. So
thank you. I didn't know who was actually even watching the singing videos, so I'll keep it up.
I liked it. Yeah, I didn't catch you live, but I saw your video, so I think it's a lovely way of being able to get your music out more. So yeah,
okay.
Your own mini concert.
Exactly. I'll keep doing it then. Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure. Lovely. Okay, so anyone that is still watching with us, thank you. please feel free to go to both of our channels and subscribe, like, engage with us, write comments if you've got questions for upcoming sessions. Either write them, DM us, or even write, come to the videos that are live and write in the comments, because we'd love to be building a beautiful community that wants to help themselves.
That's
which
right.
ultimately helps the world.
Yep. We want to project that actually it's inner work, and then the inner adjusts to the outer, and that's how you change your outer world, actually.
Yeah, this is you putting your own oxygen mask on first, so we can all individually turn up being the best version of ourselves in each moment, or at least aiming and striving for it. Even if you aim, it's still the right intention to have.
That's right. Take action, follow your highest passion, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, see you next time. All right, lots of love. Laura, stay on. And we'll talk. We'll speak. We will all speak very, very soon.
Yep. Bye for now.
Bye for now.